it's your man DJ Rob. I'm out here today. We're celebrating the Comic Expo, and I wanted to go over an experience I had about a year ago. My beautiful girlfriend, Christina Ojeda, she did something truly amazing for me. We were sitting in the bedroom, and she came over to me and she said, "I have something for you that I just can't really, keep from you anymore." It was supposed to be a surprise for my 43rd birthday. So that being said, she pulls out her phone and she went on to show me a video of Kevin Conroy, who is the voice of the animated series Batman. In my opinion, one of the best voice actors to live on the planet. But that being said, the video proceeded. It was about 6 minutes. Usually when you get these different people who do these kinds of things, it's usually about a minute or so, something very brief and then personal. But I have to tell you the words that were shared with me by Kevin Conroy, the ones that'll live in my heart for the rest of my life. He basically said, the nature of my profession, which I'm a school teacher by trade, is one that's not celebrated the way that we could really celebrate it. And he went on to say that, it'll take time for you to really go through all the different things that happen. Being an educator, he shared a story about the teacher that introduced him to theater and how he was able to bring her on stage. He's performed at Juilliard, done all kinds of things that I had no clue about. But he was very open and very expressive about sharing with me. And of course, he did his voice impression of Batman, which to me, like I said, I was in tears the entire time watching the video and just overjoyed at how inspirational his words were. It was about a 6-minute video and where he shared all the different things that he went through becoming an actor, becoming the voice of Batman for over 30 years. So, don't ever consider the idea of thinking that you're too old or you're too behind on things. Live your dreams, express yourself according to what you love, and just take care of the idea that what you want to be and who you are is in here. It starts in your heart, and that's where it needs to live. So, lifetime Batman fan and huge love of the character of the actor who voices him. And what can I say? I was just totally blown away by that movie.
I'm Shara Malaysia. Join me on July 30th at the Miramar Comic Expo. The fate of the world just may depend on it.
The Miramar Comic Expo, July 30th. Get your tickets at miramarculturalcenter.org now.
Happy birthday, Mark Robinson. This is Batman, calling you from the library of Wayne Manor. Christina Ojeda wanted me to send you this message, so this is for you. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. I want you to remember Clark. In all the years to come, in all your private moments, I want you to remember my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. Okay, this is Kevin. Happy birthday, Mark. That was a dramatic reading of Batman as he's strangling Superman to death. Do you know I've been doing this role for 30 years? Isn't that wild? This is literally the 30th year. And one of the things that makes it really enjoyable and unique is this dialogue I get to have with the audience, this interaction, because there's an amazing connection that people have with Batman. It's almost like a personal connection. There's an intimacy there. And it doesn't exist for any of the other superheroes. It's really unique. And my feeling is that's true because of all the superheroes. He's the only one who's actually not a superhero. There's nothing supernatural about Batman. He can't fly. He can't see through walls. He has no supernatural powers. He's a man. He's a human being. He's like you and me. He's more like a detective. Some people call him the great detective. But not only is he human, he's a very flawed human. And he knows he's flawed. He's been damaged by life. But Mark, we are all flawed and we all get damaged by life. So it makes him that much more relatable for us. What distinguishes him is that no matter what life throws at him, no matter what crisis or failure, he doesn't let it defeat him. He doesn't let it make him bitter. He takes the pain that life throws at him and he turns it around and he gives it back to the world as love. Because his whole mission is to leave the world better than he found it. Well, Mark, that's something we can all aspire to. Because you don't have to have superpowers to want to give. to your family, your community, to leave the world a better place. You do it yourself every day when you walk into the classroom. As a third grade teacher, what are they, about 9 years old, your students? You walk in and you give, and you give, and you give of yourself. That is a Batman spirit that you have. There are certain jobs that I think are so admirable and are so embody the spirit of Batman. Obviously, first responders. And for me, teachers are right up there. I'll tell you a story, a personal story of my experience with teachers. I had wonderful teachers, but one in particular, when I was 11 or 12, I was in 6th grade, so it would have been 12. I went from very, very traditional Catholic schools, you know, Mass and Latin, that kind of thing, into a public school. Chaos, the chaos of a public school. Students talking back to teachers, students fighting in classes, everyone wandering around the halls between classes. I couldn't believe the chaos I was seeing. So I shut down. I just shut down. And one teacher kind of reached in and pulled me out. And she asked me to read some Shakespeare one night as an assignment, Julius Caesar. I'd never seen a play, I'd never read Shakespeare, I'd never seen Shakespeare. It was all new to me. I went home, not only did I fall in love with it immediately, I actually understood. I was reading iambic pentameter and it was making sense to me. Now, what was it that that teacher saw in me? I mean, obviously it was a class assignment, but what made her reach inside with me? And the next day I went up and I shot my hand up in the air and I was saying, oh, you know, Brutus means this, and, you know, Mark Antony means that. And she went to the school and she said, we're not challenging this kid enough. That's the problem. He needs to be challenged. And she ended up recruiting me for the school play. She introduced me to acting. She introduced me to the theater program in the high school later on and suggested they using me. I ended up graduating high school a year early and getting a scholarship to go to Juilliard and having a career. A teacher made that difference to me. And 10 years later, I was able to go back as a performing actor in New York, a Broadway actor, and thank her. She burst into tears because I don't think teachers hear thanks enough. It was a wonderful moment. But know, Mark, that you are affecting lives, as challenging as your life is. And you may not hear about it right away, and you won't be thanked right away. And I know that's not why you're doing it. You're not doing it to be thanked. You're doing it because it's who you are. You're doing it because you couldn't not do it. I'm just saying that the world doesn't necessarily thank you immediately, but eventually, believe me, it will. It will. And you'll have that wonderful sense of satisfaction, of knowing that you did the right thing. So keep following that inner voice, Mark, that's guided you so far. And keep giving to the world. The people around you see you. They see what you're doing and they love you for it. So remember, Mark, as Batman would say, it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Happy birthday.